Good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the Nicholas County Board of Education regular meeting Monday, April 7th, 2025. At this time, please stand for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Please join the board with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have the approval of the agenda. Any,
I don't have anything needs to be adjusted.
okay. Number 5A, we have student representatives from Richwood High School. It's Chloe Odell and Abby Childers. Come on up, ladies.
Spring sports are in full swing. Baseball and softball have had several games, and our track team has held their season opener meeting at Dean Memorial Field on Friday, March 28th. Juniors will be taking the SAT test tomorrow. They have been preparing over the last several months. We want to wish them all good luck. Miss Mullins took her Raise crew to the Capitol last week for Tobacco Free Day. They met several students from other crews across the state and learned valuable information. The IXL window is currently open and the majority of RHS students have completed or are almost complete. Way to go.
RHS National Honor Society members volunteered at Line March 20th, and they really enjoy giving back to the community. The Lumberjack Express will be traveling to Charlotte Motor Speedway, Carowinds, and Dollywood after spring break. We wish them safe travels. We would like to congratulate our school recipients for Service Personnel of the Year, Jana Davis, and Teacher of the Year, Chad Hall. Both make RHS a great place to be. Thank you.
Number 6, recognition of the Math Field Day students that went to regional 6 through 12.
Go up here so we can get pictures.
Okay.
That's just one up in the front. So
Okay, we are here this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of some stellar mathletes. Senior high competition was held on Saturday, March 8th. We had a full team this year. To make the competition team, we had to call in several alternates. Every one of our students represented our county well. We came home with the team trophy by beating out Pocahontas County by 9 points. Hand that to you. We had 3 students place in the top 10 of the top 10 regionals and are eligible to represent at state competition. State competition will be held at West Virginia State University on Saturday, April 12th, 2015, with the following students come up and line up front to be recognized. Braden McPherson, first place county and third place at regionals. Haley Johnson, 4th place county and 5th place at regionals. Owen Groves, 8th place at county and highest scoring sophomore, and 10th place at regionals. Congratulations to all the winners for your hard work and dedication. Good job, guys. Thank you. Sarah's going to take them too.
You go get it there.
Thank you, guys.
We got more. We have more.
Yes, we have grades 4 through 9.
Good job.
The grade 4 through 9 competition was held on March 21st at Adventures on the Gorge. All our students that placed in the top tiers of the county competition were able to attend. Nicholas County represented very well in the competition. We have 3 students that are eligible to attend state competition on April 12th on April 12th at West Virginia State, and 3 that are on the alternative list. Nicholas County was team winner for 6th grade. Along with their certificate, each student is receiving a certificate for a Timber Trek Adventure Park pass at Adventures on the Gorge, compliments of Adventures on the Gorge. Would the following students come up and line up front to be recognized? 6th grade, Emma Young, 1st place at county and 1st place at regionals. She is here. 6th grade, Jaden Pontier, his 2nd place at county and 2nd place at regionals. Grayson Kreitz, 3rd place county and 1st alternate regionals. 7th grade, we have Adeline Epperson, 2nd place county and second at alternate regionals. And this young lady had to leave math field day. She did double duty that day. She did math field day and then left and went to band competition that afternoon. So very, very accomplished young lady. 9th grade, we have Susan Gilman, 1st place county and 1st place regionals. And Phoebe Gross, 2nd place county and 2nd alternate regionals. Here. Congratulations to all winners. You represented our county very well. Thank you, ladies. You'll want that.
Yeah, please.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next, approve the minutes of the meetings held on March 3rd, March 17th, and March 27th. Do we have any corrections on any of those minutes? We have a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I so move.
Mr. Moose makes the motion, seconded by second by Mr. Green. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion unanimous. Next, superintendent's information updates. Mr. Beam.
First of all, I passed out to all the board members a copy of a policy that Webster County is currently using. As you all know, we've had a lot of students who've gotten into trouble with vapes at schools. Some are THC vapes, which have led to expulsions of some students. And we found out there's a lot of counties that's fighting the same battle that we are. And we heard that Webster County had a pretty good policy. It's been fairly successful. And so I just want to give you all a copy of this. There's no action on this at this time. Just something for you to look over as we head towards next school year. If you want to make any kind of changes to the way we handle the vapes in our school, I thought this is something you all could look over and let me know what your thoughts of it are. The next thing is, as I've been talking about for about the last month, we did submit a waiver to the State Department of Education to try to get some of these days waived that we have to make up because of all the snow that we had. And plus there was 2 days that that then Governor Justice had called school off because of, or he declared a state of emergency. So we couldn't very well have buses on the highways. At that time, they told us we probably had to make up those days. But the winter's been pretty severe. We missed a lot of school. We missed 17 days of school. So counties were given the option of being able to apply for a waiver on some days. So we did apply for the 2 days that the governor labeled as a state of emergency days to get those given back to us. We've not heard back from them yet. Those applications had to be in from all the counties by March the 27th. We did submit ours. I did double check to make sure they'd gotten our waiver request, and they have, but they have not made a decision on that yet. I'm not real confident that they will grant those 2 days, but in the event that they do, we'd simply move everything back 2 days, and kids would get out of school 2 days earlier, teachers get out of 2 days earlier, preschool 2 days earlier. Everything would fall, but graduation days don't change. They stay exactly where they are regardless of that decision. So that's where we are on those. And the minute I get that information back, I'll make the board and the employees aware. The next thing is we're going to need, it's later in the agenda. We would like to have a work session on April the 21st at 3:00. Kristen needs to go through the budget with the board members. Just hit some highlights. It's not going to be completely ready by then, but we need to do a little budget review and also an update on our 2 construction projects and where we are. The board's got to make some decisions fairly soon on certain aspects to the construction projects we have going on. The next thing we have is we have our Service Employee of the Year and Teacher of the Year nominees have been selected. Those individuals will be invited to our next board meeting on April the 21st, at which time we'll announce the Service Employee of the Year and the Teacher of the Year. The nominees are as follows. For Service Employee is Deanna Chapman, Summersville Elementary School, Joan Beam, Summersville Middle School, Justin Bird, Golly River Elementary, Janet Davis, Richwood High School, Stephanie Frame, Nicholas County High School, Joyce Alexander, Panther Creek Elementary School, Tracy Adkins, Richwood Middle School, Cassandra Thomas, Cherry River Elementary, Debbie Lopatrone, Mount Nebo, Angela Brown, Zila, Jerry Tony, Mount Lookout, Taylor Bradford, Glade Creek, Angie Knight, the Career Center, and Allison Moore, Birch River. The Teacher of the Year nominees are as follows. Christina Weidensaul, Summersville Elementary, Junior Tyree, Summersville Middle, Jennifer Altizer, Golly River, Chad Hall, Richwood High School, Katie Piet, Nicholas County High School, Nikki Swagger, Panther Creek Elementary School, Dee Hire, Richwood Middle School, Marchessa Lowther, Cherry River, Lou Yance, Mount Nebo, Courtney Woods, Zila, Candace Key, Mount Lookout, Amanda Clark, Glade Creek, Kim McPherson, Career Center, and Lisa Brady, Birch River. And the last thing I have is, as it was announced at the last board meeting, I think it was the last board meeting, obviously there's been some issues going on at Summersville Middle School with some accusations made to some students there or a student there. And we did have an investigator come in from, actually, he's from Huntington, and he completed his investigation last week. He told me it would take him 10 days to 2 weeks to get the report ready for us, but he is willing to come back and give the board a report on his findings. So I'm not sure when that'll be, but I'm hopefully by the 21st of April, but possibly not until May 5th. So his name was Charles Kingery, not related to the former superintendent that was here. I asked him that very question. He's from Huntington, but I'm hoping that he did a very thorough investigation and gets all the answers that we asked for. So anyway, but that's all I have at this time.
Okay. Ms. Kim, do we have any delegation?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got something else.
Oh, yeah, Shane. Yeah.
Well, and before I get to Shane, I've asked Sarah Lee and Chris Henshaw to do a quick little update on some things we're looking at for our continuing education for next year. So Sarah, you would come first. I appreciate it.
And then Shane.
Yeah, and then Shane.
See, when you came in, hopefully you found this nice little color flyer. Recollect back to last November, we had internet safety expert Jeffrey Weinberger come do a presentation with our students, do a presentation with our families. At our January Parent Advisory Committee meeting, which is comprised of parents from all across the county, I shared with them the public report of the data that Jessie had collected. So at our quarterly meeting, which is this month, at the end of the month, on the 30th, she's going to be joining us via Teams and answering the questions of now what? We've looked at our data, we know what we're doing, what guidance does she have? And we're asking that people pre-register so we have some idea of how many have seen her and how many have not. And on that pre-registration, there's also a specific place for them to ask questions. So any questions that they have that they'd like her to address, she's going to take those questions when she develops what she's going to be speaking on. But if you're around, go to any of our elementary schools, feel free to join us. We'll learn some more and continue our learning.
Great.
Sure can.
Effort to help our parents and maybe us to understand a little bit better. Yeah, Special Agent Genevieve, and I'll probably butcher her last name and I apologize, but I think it's Boysk, at a meeting that we had at the conference center. And I've reached out to ask her to come and have a talk with, maybe if we could get her to talk to parents or even speak at a board meeting on things to check for, things to watch out for, because she does a lot of the investigations through the FBI for missing and exploited children. So, because I think that's kind of was the missing part after the last meeting was, we're scared and we know our kids are vulnerable, but how do we prevent it? What do we do about it now? So we need those steps, and I'm hoping that maybe she can help us with that. So that's one of the things that I'd like. I'm trying to see if I can get her to come up here. So I've got to call into her.
Okay, thank you. Now Shane Boggs with the Richwood City Police Department.
Thanks for giving me a minute of your all's time. As you all know, I'm Shane Boggs. And the reason I wanted to meet with you guys today is we'd like to take over providing pro officers for Richwood High School and Middle School when it opens next year. And I know there's always some hesitation about the reputation of the Richwood PD. And unfortunately, we earned that over the years, but it's not the same department that it used to be. Myself and Chief Pitts are both FBI LEADA Trilogy Award winners for leadership, which means we went all the way to the executive level of leadership, and we dramatically changed how the department operates. We now have 2 officers that last year were certified as FBI crisis negotiators. We also have an officer on staff who is an instructor in CIT, which is confrontation, avoidance, and de-escalation. So not only do we train all of our officers in it, the one benefit, he also added a section that addresses dealing with individuals with autism. So that's something that we can provide now as well. We have an officer currently in South Carolina taking Homeland Security training for tactical events right now. I go to FLETC for tactical training. That's the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center next month. I'm also already enrolled in the pro school, hoping that we will get this opportunity. Right now, each Richwood officer is exceeding the standards of training that West Virginia LEPS put out by more than 5 times. Almost all of our officers have at a minimum a bachelor's degree. Some of us have advanced degrees, and others are working towards that right now. So I feel like we are more than prepared to be able to provide the pro officers and the safety of the schools in Richwood. If you all have any questions, I'd be happy to address them right now.
We're just happy that you're interested in doing this for us.
We would love to. Yeah, we think it's a great opportunity to be a part of the school. We try to interact with the students as much as we can right now. One of the other things that we'll be able to help, as you all talk about some of the vape issues and drug issues in the schools, is we've added canine furlough to our department. 1% of canines in the United States are Supreme Court certified. He's actually one of them, and he's a multi-purpose dog. The ability of being a small department that most departments don't have is not only will we have the pro officer, but multiple officers will probably be able to stop in throughout the day and actually walk through, including the canine unit, around vehicles and lockers as you guys see fit. So happy to answer anything, but I think we're more than prepared at this point.
Now, would you be able to provide pro officer all day long, all day while the students are there?
My understanding, that's what the contract calls for, and we will provide that. That's the reason why I'm considering going to pro officer school myself. That way, if an officer does have to miss, we'll actually be able to have an alternate step in that has the same training and continue providing the safety at the school.
Okay. That's the questions I have. I don't know about you all.
And we're just looking at all the options.
Of course.
You know, our county sheriff's department's stretched thin,
Right.
and it's really, I know they've reached out to us, we're talking, so.
Right, of course. And right now we have a good relationship with the other agencies, like any other department, Somersville included, limited jurisdiction. We'll be able to work with the other agencies to do investigations, things as we see fit.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.
Okay, that's all yours now.
Yes, I'm finished.
So, Ms. Kim, do we have any delegations? Thank you. Number 9, action items. Discussion with possible action on approving Kristen Eckel as the board treasurer per code 18-9-6. Any discussion on that?
I believe we do this each year. It's not because Kristen had any problem. It's just a,
You have to renew
Once
every
a
year.
year.
Yes.
You say she's not a problem or?
well, I know
Cause problem.
Okay. So we'll move on to action item B, discussion with possible action on approving the social studies curriculum adoption. And for elementary K-5, it's teacher created materials. Middle school, 6-8, National Geographic. High school, National Geographic. So any questions for Dr. Lee on that?
Who all served on that committee? I mean, just from each school or all social stuff?
But sometimes we had people representing 2 schools, at least at the elementary level, because the list that the state had pre-approved for elementary was very small. Now, middle and high, I believe she had some from every school and every content. Correct.
But they all had input at the elementary level to the representatives.
And like I said, the choices were small for elementary.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any other discussion on those 2 action items? If not, do we have a motion to approve action item A and action item B?
make the motion.
Mr. Barry makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Moose.
My voice, I'll raise my hand.
Second by Mr. Moose. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion unanimous. Consent items, finance.
Payment of current invoices. Would have been in your packet.
How many schools do we heat with propane? Kristen, do you know?
I do not know that. Kelly, do you happen to know that?
Chris might know.
I just.
Propane.
As far as I know, only Zila. Mount Lookout, I believe Mount Lookout is, and Zila is.
Yeah.
And the Creek's not electric. The only other one I would question is Birch River. I think it's natural gas. Just Mount Nebo and Zila, that's what I'm saying.
So Kristen,
This invoice, looking back here, was for Zila and Mount Nebo.
Yeah.
Looks like 2 invoices for Mount Nebo and 1 for Zila. So perhaps one of those, that probably is a month for Mount Nebo, a month for Zila, and then maybe she had to do a second month. Be the last one got paid.
Yeah, I was just
The next one got paid early.
interested how much it cost to heat was.
Looks like one of the Mount Nebo bills was $967 and the other one was $1,227. And the Zila was $2,523 of that total.
That's last month, right? Okay.
Yeah, she has a note here that says propane. Like I said, that Mount Nebo, that looks like that would be 2 months.
so Mr. Beam told me that we got our FEMA money reimbursed, right?
Yes.
So
We had to go ahead and release, we chose to go ahead and release the check, the construction before we got reimbursement because they have been waiting a long time for their payment. So we went ahead and did that knowing that the payment would come in, but there were some hangups. I'm not sure whether at the federal or the state level, but that was Thursday. We released that check and then Friday we got notification that our reimbursement of that is coming through. So we don't have it yet, but it's in the works.
but city was close to pulling out
Right.
and stopped construction. So glad you took care of that.
And yeah, rather than to let that happen,
We don't need stops.
I mean, it's a lot of money. We're getting to the point now where those monthly bills for those construction companies are substantial. So we can't normally can't pay that until we get the reimbursement. So that's generally how we do it. But this time we made an exception to keep things going.
Anything else on payment of current invoices?
You'll see there's another payment in here for city construction. So that's one that we will hold until we get the reimbursement unless something else like this happens. But I think that they've worked out their kink. I think there was maybe some new faces in the state or federal approval processes that we have to go through. So maybe there was a couple little glitches there, but I think we're okay now, hopefully.
Okay, contracts.
We have first contract is with ZMM. And it's actually an amendment to the contract that we already have with them. And that is for commissioning services at the Glade Creek property. If you look at that, it's in bold on the second page. It's $159,000. That wasn't in our original contract with CMM. And you'll also see an email that I put in here from Dave that says that commissioning agent checks and confirms the HVAC system that will be installed at the Glade Creek site. And they had already put in their contract, the one that would be responsible for doing that on the Richwood side. It's a requirement from the West Virginia State Department of Education that those services be performed on every project. So that's just an additional amount then that we'll be paying ZMM, and then they'll turn around and pay that. Sir Buckley Mayfield. And next we have 2 contracts with the Summersville Arena and Conference Center, one for Nicholas County High School prom and one for Nicholas County High School graduation. And the prom one, I believe there are 2 different proposal A and a proposal B based on how many people are attending.
David, but after me done, see if it looks like that.
If there are no questions on those, the next one that I have is M3T, which if you have questions about that one, we might get Amy to answer those. We're going to use educational consulting team to be the math trainer for that. And do you have anything to say about that or to explain what that is?
Basically, M3T is a network collaborative of statewide math teachers, and they basically come together and they discuss different pedagogy methods and what are the methods and favorite strategies for math students to excel.
And Amy wrote a grant for this, and we received the grant, so this would be paid for by the grant.
And that will be countywide, is that right?
Correct.
For just 2 seconds.
Okay, if you don't have any questions on any of those, that takes care of contracts. And the next item I have is an action item. I told you guys before that our fees that we were paying for our banking services were getting kind of high. And I had called and talked to our representative there at their main office about these fees several times. And through the years, we've checked on those and they've been able to negotiate a little bit and come down with those fees, but now they're just more and more. We don't really do online banking, but we have access to online services now. And that really added a lot of fees. It looks like to me, we used to pay $400 or $500 a month in bank fees. And now sometimes it's more than $1,500 a month. So it was just time we needed to put the banking services out for bid because we just didn't feel good about having to pay those fees. So I did that and we got, I had to send that out to every bank in Nicholas County to see if there was interest from them. And we received a response back from First Community Bank, who was not interested in bidding, United Bank, and Truist. And Truist is where we are currently. I have a lot of information and we had a lot of back and forth emails, but I didn't include that. Essentially, United Bank will service our accounts with no fees at all. And they'll actually have a better interest rate than we're getting right now. So it's kind of a lot of work to change banks, but I think it's definitely worth it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'd like to do that and have you approve that. And then it's not going to be, super fast. Like one day we're going to have this new bank. It's going to take a little bit of time to move everything over. We have a lot of things that are directly deposited into our account and a lot of things that come out automatically. So we'll have to wait through all that and learn a little bit about how to do our payroll a little different way. It's going to be essentially the same, but you know, be a little bit different platform. So I would like to go ahead and move forward with that. And then we have out-of-state travel requests. Point out on the second one, to Michigan, that there is no cost to the county. The other ones are going to be paid for by their respective programs, but that one, there's no charge.
You know if that's an out-of-state trip or not, Chip,
Which one?
the Panther Creek.
Mr. Hanshaw, check your phone.
We had a text message from Panther Creek, want to know about their trip. They said it was approved by the principal March 4th. I think it's what the date says, and we're not seeing it on the agenda. I just didn't know if it got in travel tracker or not.
I received it. But it'll be on our next agenda.
When is the trip? You know when the trip is?
No.
It's not before our next meeting, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. If it's not until the next, if it's not until after the 1st of May, we can have it at the next board meeting on the 21st even.
Yeah, that's the packet that it's in. I think we've got 6
Okay,
field trips,
you might answer her back.
but I'll double check it.
Okay.
And lastly, there are a couple of student trips.
Okay, any discussion or questions for Kristen on consent items, finance, 1, 2, 3, under 2, the contracts A, B, C, D, and your out-of-state travel request 1, 2, 3, student transfer request 1 and 2. Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to present the consent items under finance as presented? Mr. Moose makes a motion, seconded by? Second by Mr. Berry. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion unanimous. Thank you. Okay, next personnel. We have May 2nd.
They say it's when the trip is, we can approve it on the 21st.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get it? Do you
No.
want me to get it?
No,
We're good.
thank you. Okay, so we have personnel hearings. Are we doing them in executive session?
It'll be up to
Okay, so,
executives. Well, each person will get to decide if they want to have it open or closed.
okay, so the first one is Beverly A. Rylant. You want yours open or closed?
Open.
Okay. So do you have representation? Just you? I mean, I didn't mean just you. I didn't mean that. Okay, if you want to come up. The way this works. Yeah, you can call. We have to swear each one of them in. So you have decided, do you want yours open? So the administration's representatives give an opportunity to make an opening statement.
Did you want to appear?
No, that's okay. Good evening. The personnel recommendations presented tonight were not made lightly. These are difficult decisions, were based on a comprehensive data and careful analysis, including preliminary computations for Nicholas County, October 1, 2024 head count, Nicholas County kindergarten enrollment projections for 25-26, projected special education caseloads for 25-26, Hope Scholarship and homeschool enrollment numbers for 23-24. To ensure a thorough and collaborative process, these decisions were discussed in details with directors and principals. Each director and principal was asked to carefully review their areas of responsibility and provide input and potential personnel reductions. After receiving their recommendations, I compiled and reviewed the suggested reductions in consultation with them. Despite our efforts to minimize reductions through retirements, we were faced with a $3.5 million shortfall between state aid and salary cost, necessitating staff reductions. The proposed reductions total approximately $1.5 million in salaries and include 15.5 teaching positions, including 3 grant-funded positions, 8 service positions, 1 student support position, 1 administrative position. Nicholas County is currently 26.12 teachers over the state formula and 23.76 service personnel over the state formula and 1.32 student support staff over formula. Enrollment trends impacting staffing needs. Kindergarten enrollment for the 25-26 school year has declined from 185 in 24-25, or 23-24, sorry, to 153, a reduction of 32 students. Since the start of 23-24 school year, since the start of the 24-25 school year, we've lost 127 students to homeschooling and 46 students to Hope Scholarship, totaling 173 students as of March 30th. Since October 1, the funding count, an additional 56 students have enrolled in homeschool and 26 in Hope, totaling 82. These students were not counted, did not concentrated in a single school, bus route, or class, but their departure impacts the entire district. These recommendations are necessary to ensure Nicholas County School remains financially stable while continuing to provide a world-class education for our students. I understand the weight of these decisions, and I am available to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, so Mrs. Ryland has decided to represent herself, which she may. At this time, you may go ahead and speak.
If you don't mind, I have a handout that I'd like to share with you all. Good evening. My name is Beverly Ryland, and I am the current assistant principal at Summersville Elementary School. I've dedicated 41 years to education in Nicholas County, including 2 years as the assistant principal and 27 years serving the students, parents, and faculty of Summersville Elementary. Even in retirement, I spent 3 out of 5 years in long-term positions at Summersville Elementary. I want to begin by acknowledging that I am reading my statement today, not out of a lack of sincerity, but because I'm deeply passionate about this school community. By doing so, I aim to remove emotion from this discussion and focus on the data and facts that demonstrate why retaining the assistant principal is essential to maintaining a strong, supportive, and effective learning environment. I'm here to express my concern regarding the recent decision to eliminate the assistant principal position at Summersville Elementary School, one of the largest elementary schools in the county with approximately 318 students. The removal of this position will have a significant impact on the school's ability to provide adequate support to both students and staff. Summersville Elementary serves a diverse student population, including a substantial number of students that require specialized support. If you look at the handout that I've given you, I kind of broke it down a little bit by grade level. In grades pre-K, kindergarten, and first, we have 140 students, with 64 students, 46%, either having an IEP or in SAP. Grades 2 and 3, we have 87 students, with 44 students, which is about 50%, having an IEP or in SAP. And grades 4 and 5, we have about 91 students, with 33 of them, 36%, having an IEP or in SAP. Overall, that's about 141 students, 44% of our population, that require specialized services. In addition to these high support needs, discipline-related issues continue to demand administrative attention. Since September of 2024, the school has documented, and these numbers have actually changed because I stopped collecting data at the end of March, and we've had a few more added to it. 28 WEVIS reports for different behavioral or disciplinary problems, and about 25 office referrals, which mainly come to me. At Summersville Elementary, I've implemented a positive office referral to help shift our focus towards celebrating positive student behavior. Too often, our attention is drawn to negative behaviors, while students who consistently do the right thing go unnoticed. Since the beginning of the school year, we have recognized over 50 students for demonstrating positive behaviors. These students are invited to my office, where they are commended and rewarded as a way to reinforce and celebrate their actions. Plus, they receive a positive office referral to take home and share with their parents or guardians. The current level of administrative support is not sufficient to handle these demands. A single principal cannot effectively manage discipline, oversee all the IEP and STAT meetings, provide instructional leadership, and support teachers while ensuring a positive learning environment for all students. Furthermore, as more families consider homeschooling through programs like the Hope Scholarship, the lack of adequate support for teachers and students may contribute to further enrollment declines, ultimately impacting county funding. Retaining the assistant principal position is a necessary investment in both student success and teacher effectiveness. As I have observed in recent board decisions, several high-cost initiatives have been wisely postponed until the new school building is completed. And people, let me tell you, I'm in my 60s. I have no desire to go to the new school. I just want to finish out the time with Summersville Elementary. I respectfully urge you to apply that same level of consideration to the assistant principal position at Summersville Elementary. Eliminating this role at this time would have both immediate and long-term consequences for our students and staff. The support, leadership, and consistency provided by this position are essential, especially given the high number of students requiring specialized services and ongoing behavioral challenges. I also believe that there are alternative areas where budget reductions could be made that would not directly affect the student or the children and staff. My measly salary is not going to make or break the county. I encourage the board to explore other cost-saving measures that preserve the essential support structure needed for student success.
I respectfully urge the board to reconsider this decision and restore the assistant principal position at Summersville Elementary. This role is essential to maintaining a safe, structured, and high-quality learning environment for all students. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time and your dedication to the students and staff of our district. I look forward to your response.
Okay, so,
Exhibits.
just a second. So Brandon sent me something. He said I should have swore you all in.
Witnesses.
Well,
You can do it now.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it retroactive, just so we're covered. Okay, so, and I can do that. So if you will answer with just yes or no, if both of you want to do it at the same time, we can do that. But if you would raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. Now, okay,
Exhibit A, and 1.
and I apologize because we've never had to have, since I've been on the board, we've never had to have personnel hearings.
Is Exhibit 2. Any additional witnesses?
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Rowland, would you like to call witnesses? You want to call anybody? Okay,
Up there, though, can I say here? You know,
if you will raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay, so I'm Leslie Gibson. I just recently transferred to Summersville Elementary this past school year where I got rotated out of my previous position at Glade Creek. So I was dreading coming to a big school because I had previously worked in one in Webster County. So I'm going to try to just read what I wrote and so eliminating this role, I feel like is a mistake and will have consequences. I've experienced firsthand what it's like to work in a school this size that does not have an assistant principal. And let me tell you, when that key leadership role is missing, everything changes. The workload of the office staff, the teachers, and even the principal increases. Everyone is already stretched too thin and morale takes a hit. The school environment suffers. It is no longer collaborative, calm, or focused. It becomes reactive, chaotic, and strained. Bev is vital to our school. She's more than just an extra set of hands. She's a leader. She's a listener, a problem solver, and a support system. I went to her office today for support over a student. She handles discipline with fairness, builds strong relationships with her students and families, and helps ensure the day-to-day operation runs smoothly. Most evenings she's there until 4:30 or 5 o'clock. She supports her teachers so they can focus on what they do best, teaching. She handles countless behind-the-scene responsibility that keep everything together. Like I said, I'm new to this school. I just met Bev in August. She's been an amazing support system. So I just wanted to express that I think it would be a mistake to not just to her, for the kids and your staff as a support system. I mean, how many of us go every day to Bev if we need something? I just, because, Laura's only one person. So, thank you.
Do you have any questions you want to cross-examine?
I do.
Any board members would like to ask questions?
That's one question. There were three. It says despite our efforts to minimize reductions through retirements, we're facing $3.5 million shortfall between the state aid and the salary costs, necessitating staff reductions. For those reductions that you have on our agenda today, counts for 1.5 million of it. Where will the other $2 million come from?
You don't have to come from surplus.
From the general budget? Or the I have one more question. The elementary schools in our county, do any of them have assistant principals?
No.
Except for Summersville, the three, of course, it's the largest.
Yes, Valley River had one a few years ago, and that has been eliminated.
Thank you.
What's the population of Gully River?
I think it's 285. Chris, can you double check that for me?
297.
287.
297.
297, I'm sorry.
Do either one of y'all have any closing statements or you?
Have more witnesses.
If I have someone else who'd like.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said one, so
I'm sorry.
you go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like Leslie. I'm gonna sit back here.
You're fine, but I need to swear you in. So you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've been at Summersville Elementary for 11 years. I've worked with Bev the whole time. She was the teacher. And the last 2 years, the role as assistant principal. It is a vital position. I don't know what we would do without her. There's 3 of us there, and it takes all 3 of us to keep things going. We begged for this position for a long time. And finally getting it through. I have seen former principals who have been there for themselves to do this. I have watched principals be hit in the back with wet paper towels. I have seen them be kicked, hit, abused. So there's nothing you can do about that. But sometimes that's all they get done during the day. And then all the paperwork that has to be done. And all of these SATs, all these IEPs, that has kept our principals busy. And we hardly ever see Laura because she is doing IEPs and SATs. That leaves Bev to deal with the rest. She is great at discipline. The kids respect her, the staff respect her. We have a wonderful school, we have a wonderful staff. And if you take away this position, that's going to put more work, not only on the principal, but on me. And I'm the secretary, by the way. You can look at my timestamps on Weebus. I was working last night at 10 o'clock, doing attendance that I cannot get to during the day. You will see in my emails, I'm doing emails a lot of times to some of the work office people that I need to correspond with. There is just not enough time in 8 hours, even for the 3 of us, to get done what we need to. And that's time that I don't turn in, by the way. But if this position's eliminated and I end up doing this next year, I will be turning it in as extra duty. And if you don't want to pay me for that, that's fine. I'll be there whatever my 8 hours are, and that's it. And then my work's going to suffer, and the whole school's going to suffer because things are not done. So eliminating this position is not in the best interest of students. I know other elementary schools may not have an assistant principal. I'm sorry, but that's not our concern. But they may not also have the discipline problems that we have. They may not have all the IEPs or the SATs that we have. But I really beg you to consider this, to not do away with this position. Please, if you can find something somewhere else where you can cut, please do so. And please leave this position. It is desperately.
But. So.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please identify yourself.
Tammy Kaiser.
Okay.
We're talking about homeschoolers and all of these other things that the parents are doing. Low kindergarten people. What happens if you eliminate this job? Come September, these parents decide, I can't do that job. My kids need to go back in school. I can't handle them being home. How many kindergartners do we have that come back, that enroll when school's enrolled? What are you going to do when everything goes up and we don't have an assistant principal? Do you know, I work in a special ed department. Do you know how many times we have called Bev Rollins to come and help us with a child? And all that child needs is to hear Bev's voice, because Bev has built a relationship with these kids that are there. Bev don't care to go into the severe profound room and help out. She, you know, it's the relationships that she has built with these kids that they respect her. Laura is gone in meetings, as you heard, okay? What happens if I have a problem in my classroom and there's nobody there to help me? Because Laura had to come up here, or she had to go to training. What happens? If you eliminate Bev's position, you're taking away our rock. I don't think you all really understand how important this woman is. Look at the staff that has come here today to show how much we need her. We've all been at work at 7 a.m. We just got done with family game night. But Bev is important enough to us that we put the rest of our evening on hold for this woman. I'm telling you, I gotta go home and cook dinner yet, but this is more important. I beg you all, please keep this position. She is a very vital person to us. And I can say that recently my grandson just got diagnosed with autism. Bev is the one I went to talk to because I was really upset. Okay, I didn't know my grandson cries in the classroom because he can't understand. You know, I go to Bev, I talk to her. What can I do? What do I do? I think you all are making a huge mistake in eliminating her. Once again, I ask you to reconsider and to think about what happens if enrollment goes up this year.
before you eliminate her. That's all I have to say.
Can I say one more thing on that enrollment? A lot of times you cannot pinpoint what that enrollment is going to be until we're usually from August to October enrolling students because they forget, they move into the area. So you have a very large amount of people that come and enroll even after school starts, not just through the summer months. And there may be times when this whole staff is trying to catch a student who is running. We have a code in our school, code runner, because we do have some runners. Everybody knows their place. Okay? The learning process stops. Or if you have a student with a discipline issue and you've got to clear out that classroom. I've seen it happen 3 to 4 times a day, same student. Everything comes to a halt till you get that under control. Bev is always there. Sometimes it's Laura, Bev, and all the staff that is trained. And I'm standing by to call the parent if need be, whatever they instruct me to do. So please really consider this and think about it long and hard. And I don't mean this to be offensive. But the ones of you who have been in our school, have you ever seen us just sitting there twiddling our thumbs? I've only seen 3 of you in our building, and I know you've all been invited before, but only 3 of you have ever darkened our door. So really and truly, you don't know what goes on in our school unless you're there on a day-to-day basis. And again, I don't mean that to be offensive, but I'm just trying to get you to see how important this position is. Really, how important everybody's position is there.
Let me ask you a question. And I don't want you to take offense to this question. You said you've been there about 10 years,
Been there 11 years.
11 years. What was the enrollment? I'm just curious. 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. How much have we lost? I'm new to this.
We were at one time around 425 when I first came there.
And at that time, did you have an assistant principal?
We did not at that time.
So y'all,
Needed one desperately.
well, I'm not saying, I don't think it's a question of need. I mean, I don't think that at all. And I don't know Bev well, but I do know Bev and she has a good reputation. And I don't think that's the question. You got to look at the position and like you all said before, try to find someplace else or try to balance everything that you're doing.
Mr. Ferguson?
Yes.
My position has come and gone over the years. Like I said, I've been at Summersville for 27 some years. And we have had assistant principals and then we go a few years without one and then we get them back and then we go without one. It's varied over time.
Well, that answers my question. Thank you.
And I don't think just looking at the enrollment numbers is what needs to be looked at here. I think it's your needs, your student needs in your school and your staff needs in your school. So I don't think it just needs to be an enrollment.
Is it fair to say, and again, I have to apologize because I'm not in education. I'm learning a lot about education. I've never learned more. I tease everybody than I went through school. Learned a lot more in these last 2 years and I should have paid attention. Is it fair to say, I think I've heard, does Summersville Elementary have more, what they call Title I or special student? Is yours special needs students or IEPs higher than the rest of the county?
I
You
can't
know
answer
that?
that, sir. I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Mrs. Chapman, percentage wise,
Caseload projection next year is about 36 students, so it's not the highest percentage in the county. The caseload projection, but I wasn't prepared for that.
Well,
You're fine.
Well, yeah, percentage, but if you had 60 kids at Birch River, you could have a higher percentage there. So I'm more interested in numbers. Would it have the highest number of students?
It does have the highest.
Number of
They
IEPs?
also have the highest number.
Mr. Ferguson, I put it on here where we have each grade level and the percentage.
Yeah, I saw that and it averaged out to 44%. I just didn't know that as compared to the rest of the Nicholas County school population.
Well, what's your total staff number? How many staff?
Was it
Teachers.
57? Was that what we counted?
Yeah. Somewhere 55 to 60.
We are losing a special education teacher next year. We have all these special ed kids. We have a teacher that's transferring to another school and they are not replacing her. That takes us down to 2 special ed teachers in our school. Neat.
Total staff.
I'm going to say, I think 57. 57, sir.
57.
I want to add if I'm allowed. I have a classroom of 24. 9 of my kids are in SAT process. If you don't know what that exactly means, that means every 9 weeks I have to meet during, not supposed to be during my planning because by law, that is my planning. But you know what? I don't want to meet after school. So Laura sits with me on those 9 different meetings. That's not counting the kids that I have to do annual IEP meetings, annual IEP, speech, OT, SATs, or regular parent-teacher conferences. Laura and I've got to know Laura very well this year due to all the meetings that I've had to sit with her through the SAT process. I mean, I have 9, 5 IEPs. In a 24 kids in my classroom.
And she out of 50, and you got to remember, she's only 1 out of 57 that Laura has to meet with. So if I have to have help and Laura's in a meeting.
I was out on the playground 3 weeks ago. And I was watching preschool playground. I could tell those sure. I said, do you want me to radio in to help? I had to radio in because they've come running. What if Laura would have been in a meeting? It would have come and helped. This child would not come back. I guess the runner would be what we would. So what do we do as staff? Who do we look to?
Okay, at this time, y'all want to have a discussion?
You might want to have all your 4 personnel hearings first and then go into executive session and discuss it. It's up to you. Don't matter. Your party.
I just hate to keep everybody here, but
I mean,
I've got some-
voting is going to be at the end of this anyway.
Did not ask these people to come in and speak for me today. They did this of their own accord. I love this school. I came out of retirement for this school. And I have thoroughly enjoyed the time that I have spent being an administrator at my school. I love these people, each and every one of them. We may not always see eye to eye, but I love these people.
you know, Bev, my first year I taught with you
I know.
and, you know, and what you all said, I'm hearing you. I really do. I hear you. There's not anybody on this list that I think is somebody that we don't need. The problem is, and the problem with numbers, you know, we can only cut during personnel season. And our trajectory on our numbers, it's gone down, 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 down. And you are right about they might turn around and bring them back. If they bring them back, we can hire more people. But if we keep losing and we're 3.5 million, and in a couple of years, we're in the hole and we're responsible for that. It's a big decision. And, you know, I got some friends out there that I've been in your all shoes. I taught 33 years in elementary. So I know we had those runners. We had to have plans. You know, most of the time when we only had one principal at Panther Creek, I was there most of my years. And most of the time when the principal wasn't there, I was in charge along with my class. So I get it. But also looking at these budget numbers and
Mr.
and the one thing, and the biggest money cost to the school system is your personnel. That's the biggest cost. And it's just like a lot of people, like, you know, you have halftime cooks that we're letting go. We're paying full benefits on those halftime cooks, full benefits. So their benefits are costing us as much as our regular personnel. So we tried to look at those positions first, and they don't want to lose their halftime cooks. No one wants to lose anybody. I understand it. I get it. I've been there. I've been on your side too. Yes, ma'am.
I know that a lot of children have been taken out with the Hope Scholarship recently due to a lot of the turmoil that's going on in the county right now. Like Tammy was saying, at some point, these parents, when things calm down and things get straightened out again, which they will eventually, that's when the parents are most likely going to be putting their kids back in school.
Well, and what they don't realize is your money is based on October, 1st? And so they come after October 1st, we get no money for them, you know, and we have to have money to pay our people. I mean, you all don't volunteer. So
What if I went to a 3-day week? Would that work?
3-day week.
Well, I have another question. If I need help in my classroom and you all take her job, can I call you all?
Listen, I've been there.
No, I'm being serious.
I am too. I've been there.
Because I am scared to death
I-
of doing anything wrong with these kids.
I'm
And that's why I called them.
I'm telling you, I've been there. I have been there in your shoes. No, that's why I'm not there.
Okay, you just answered my question.
Oh, but when I was in the building, we had to help each other. That's all we had.
We already do. Do you know?
I know. I get it, but I'm just telling you, and I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying. And Deanna, you know, she was talking about staying after my lands of mercy. There's secretaries all over this county. There's cooks that take stuff home. There's teachers. I get it. I used to go back to school because my problem was I'd be talking to everybody while they're there. So I'd be better off to go back, you know, at 9 o'clock at night to work.
But they get sued if something happens to their job in their classroom. I can be sued if I make the wrong decision. That's why I depend on Bev so much, because she has built these relationships with these kids. She can go in and calm a child down in just a matter of seconds. Whereas this child has already tuned me out because I've been working with him. She's a fresh face.
I know. And there's other people just like her. There's other people across the counties just like her that's a fresh face for some of these kids. I get it. I know. But
I beg to differ. There's no.
Could, I would like, just for the record, and I hear you. I mean, don't think I don't hear you. But this is our audited statement for June 30th of 2024. And on page 13, it says factors bearing on the board's future. At the time of these financial statements were prepared and audited, the board was aware of circumstances that could significantly affect its financial health in the future. The board maintains several unfunded professional and service positions which are not funded by the state of West Virginia. The board must assess on an annual basis the educational needs of the county and make adjustments to compensate for such demands. These educational decisions are further rendered based on the state law and the West Virginia Department of Education policies. The board does not have the financial capability to maintain such numbers of unfunded positions, along with other cuts, will be forced to reduce staff in the future. The problem is, and I'm a problem solver by nature, and there's just so many problems here that I just don't feel that I can solve. I'm hoping to make a difference, but whether I can solve them. The state of West Virginia funds us based upon a cookie cutter approach. 25 students in a classroom, one professional teacher. That's what they say. And you all know that's not what we have. We got one teacher for 8 students, one teacher and then it used to be, if it goes over 25, they pay you a little bit extra or give you an aid and stuff. So especially in this climate of the legislature where you have the Hope Scholarship and you have enrollment coming down, it's going to be interesting in the future where this does fall, because the legislature is going to have to make some adjustments. But we as a board have a responsibility of taking what is given us and making these financial decisions. And I just hope you can appreciate that, but I do hear you. Okay. Okay.
It's just, when you have a school this large and you have worked with someone, you know, you just hate to see this position eliminated.
And we get your, you know, you're supporting her. I get it. I've been there on your side. I'm telling you, I have. But, and we'll have a discussion, and no one can ever read me anyway, so.
Where there's a will, there's a way, Mr.
Question, if I can. Yeah, I don't mean to offend anybody. But if the county has a budget issue, why did we need an assistant superintendent? We went for a long time without an assistant. We have a superintendent. Why do we need a superintendent? And I don't mean any offense.
We had to have a personnel director. She has 2 roles, personnel, and I will tell you something. The last 3 months, she's been assistant superintendent, personnel director, maintenance director, and transportation director. So, you know, she's had a lot on her, and I'm not taking up for her, but I'm telling you, that's not a new position. That's not a new position.
No, it's not a new position.
We had a personnel, she's slash personnel. So she's doing 2 jobs.
So you can't do without her, just like we can't do without her.
We could do without her being assistant superintendent, but you have to have personnel director. Well,
I mean, you're nothing. She's important to you all because of the role she plays. This woman is important to us
I
because
guess.
she plays a role not only with staff, but kids. The reason why we're all here, kids.
I get it, but so one made this, her position is paid for and we get reimbursed. Hers, we're not getting reimbursed. We're over on personnel. So I know I get it. I used to be on your side. I got it. And this is tough because there stands Mr. James back there. He's on this hearing list. I think the world of him. Jason Miller back there, Don Brown, all these people, and I know them all, and it's tough because you live here. And boy, oh boy, I thought this was going to be a better job than this, and it's not this time of year.
And one thing that I look at also is wanted to combine or merge Birch River and Zila with Summersville at the end of this year. If we had done that, my job would not be in jeopardy. But because the board decided to not do that, now all of a sudden my job is in jeopardy. Well, my job's not in jeopardy, it's gone.
Well, there were several reasons for that, but anyway.
The only thing that I would end with, and I won't say anything else, is I can appreciate you all taking up for Beth. How many employees do we have in the school system?
500.
We have 500 some. I would like to think that we have 500 some Bevs. In other words, everybody's position is important. We have to take everybody's position, or you wouldn't have that position. And in Bev's case, there's some worse scenarios. In Bev's case, she would have an opportunity, it looked like, to be transferred to another job. I know that's not what she wants to do. You got some people on this list that's gonna be without a job. They're getting rid. So all I'm saying is I've always had a pretty unique ability. We had 500 some employees at Northside at one time. I'm down to 2 or 3. But everybody's position is important. Everybody does them different. God made us all different. I mean, we all have different DNA, different styles, different everything. So it's not personal. Trust me, it's not personal. It's just, you gotta look at the positions and we'll take the recommendations and go from there. But there's 500 and some. You all probably would argue not Bev's, and I'd say Bev is very good at her job and she's been there a long time. Maybe we need 500 some. Maybe if we had 300 some Bev's, we wouldn't need 500 some. So I don't know. But my point is I'm not going to get into personalities. I'm going to get into positions. That's what I feel my mandate is.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your listening to all of us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank
And I
you.
do hope that you will seriously consider
We,
keeping my position.
we will have a discussion.
Yes.
Will. Okay, thank you. Okay, next we have Jason Miller. Would you like this open or closed, sir?
An unusual request. I'd like for it to be private because we'll be talking about special education students
Okay,
and confidentiality reasons.
okay,
But I would like for my staff to stay here if that's possible.
it is.
And maybe Christy Chapman and Tom Bates is here. Anybody that I work directly with.
Okay, so we have a motion to go in executive session.
Motion.
Mr. Green makes a motion, seconded by Mr. Moose. All in favor? Aye. At 5:28.